The future's here, and it's about to start getting insane. Technological development in recent years has been pretty crazy. Just think about what a smartphone can do now compared to one of those huge bricks from the 80s. Or even how far we've come since playing Snake on our Nokias back in the early 2000s. But it's not just smartphones that are changing. New tech is going to completely change our lives in ways you can hardly imagine. From the new brand of virtual glasses to the satellite launcher that changes everything. Here's 20 emerging technologies that will change our world. Number 20. Mojo Vision's prototypes. Invisible computing is what Mojo Vision is all about. The founders of the company hail from places like Apple, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, so it's a pretty big venture. They want to make us less dependent on screens. Instead of taking out your phone to see why it vibrated in the middle of a conversation, you merely have to look to the corner of your eye to activate an interface that'll tell you in a split second what some troll on Twitter just commented on your profile about. Awesome. I can't wait. But I might have to, because it's actually not easy to make smart contact lenses. Alphabet's subsidiary Verily had to refocus its smart lens program after running into some major problems. You need the right sensors and the right sizes, enough power to make everything work, a display, and an image sensor. These sensors include things like custom wireless radios and motion sensors for tracking the eyes and the stabilizing of the image. If you wear the lens and look straight ahead, you won't see anything that'll alter your vision. But if you look in any corner, icons like a calendar, the weather, notifications, music playback, and more could appear. So, would you want to wear your phone screen on your eyes? Let us know in the comments. We're actually really curious about this one. Before we go on, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. Spin launch. An American company has tried out a way to send satellites into space that uses a high-speed spinning machine instead of conventional rockets. The machine, which runs on kinetic energy, is meant to make satellite launches much cheaper and use way less fuel. Spin Launch is located in California, and that's where they made the system. A test launch happened recently at a private space launch complex in the western state of New Mexico called Spaceport America. The company said that payloads from several groups, including the American Space Agency NASA, were used in the tests. Spin Launch said in a statement that all of the test payloads were flown and recovered successfully. Didn't say anything about what the payloads were, though. Oh, what's that? You want to know what I would fire into space using kinetic energy? How about those Twitter trolls from earlier? Anyway, the suborbital accelerator from Spin Launch was a success in the tests. It's a 33-meter steel structure with a spinning arm that's powered by electricity. Inside the accelerator is a satellite. The fast turning of the system creates kinetic energy that's meant to spin the satellite faster than 5 times the speed of sound. The suborbital accelerator is made to send the satellite into an orbit close to Earth, about 2,000 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Spin Launch wants to keep adding to its technology and equipment so it can send things into even higher orbits. Something about this just kind of blows my mind. Number 18. Graphene and graphene oxide. Graphene is a hexagonal lattice of carbon atoms that are only 1 atom thick. That's like really thin. Graphene is the building block of graphite, which is used in things like pencil tips, but it's also a very interesting substance on its own. It has a lot of other amazing properties that have earned it the name the wonder material more than one time. At 1 atom thick, graphene is the thinnest material that we know of. It's also very strong, about 200 times stronger than steel. Graphene is also a great conductor of both heat and electricity, and it can absorb light in really interesting ways. It's a material that could honestly change the world because it could be used in almost any industry. Graphene has also made its way into consumer electronics. For example, Huawei's top-of-the-line smartphones use graphene film cooling technology to deal with heat. Ford's another well-known company that uses graphene. In its 2019 F-150 and Mustang cars, Ford used graphene-reinforced foam to cover noisy parts. When graphene is mixed with foam, Ford says that the parts are 17% quieter, 20% stronger, and 30% more resistant to heat, which is cool, unless you like your Mustang nice and loud, I guess. Number 17. GPS 3. Since 1993, the U.S. Air Force has allowed the rest of the world to use its Global Positioning System, better known as GPS. Since then, this technology has become a part of our daily lives. It's in our phones, our cars, and even our watches. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that the U.S. keeps putting money into developing the technology for both civilian and military use, and that money is about to pay off big time with the latest development. GPS-3 is already in the process of being put to use. It already has 2 satellites in orbit, and 8 more are in various stages of development. Here's what you can expect when the next generation of GPS is fully operational in 2023. The GPS-2 system that we have now works well, but GPS-3 is going to be a whole lot better. The next version of GPS should be 3 times more accurate than the current version. This means that the accuracy of the current GPS technology, which is about 5 to 10 meters, will drop to just 1 to 3 meters. And the signal's going to be stronger, so it'll be able to get through annoying interference, and all kinds of positioning and tracking will become insanely accurate. Now, if I can just figure out where I left my car keys. Number 16. Smart floating farms. Both Karma and Courage, the cows, are very special cows. They can see the whole harbor of Rotterdam, go to the bathroom on a literal poop deck, and walk that gangplank to a pasture. They and 32 other cows from the Meuse-Rhine-Issel region of the Netherlands live on the world's first floating dairy farm. Every day, cows eat potato peels and grass clippings and then let out more than 5,700 pounds of dung, which is picked up by a robot that looks like a Roomba and dumped down a shaft to a deck below. There, the poop is turned into fertilizer for the grass on soccer fields and in parks. About 5 gallons of milk are taken from each cow by another robot. I'm glad to hear the poop robot isn't the milking robot too. The milk is put in bottles or made into yogurt and trucked to go to grocery stores. Experts say that big floating farms would be too expensive and would need too many resources to really be viable. But the inventor hopes that seeing cows grazing on a boat will make people think of new ways to grow food in the future. To feed the world's 9.8 billion people in 2050, humans will have to make 56% more food, so we're gonna need to put a lot of cows floating on a lot of bodies of water out there to feed all those